here we are in 4 weeks into our 10-week series about gaslighting. I'm going through and breaking down each different form of the ways that people gaslight you. This has become a very popular term when it comes to having people that you love and care about that are dealing with substance abuse issues. Maybe they're still dealing with the substance abuse, or maybe they're even in recovery, especially early on. These manipulations are very effective, so they kind of can keep using them at any time. And so I really want you to know how to defend yourself against them, what it looks like, so that you don't have to fall victim to it. So this next one is the fourth one, which is the slow death of self. And if you're just tuning in and you haven't watched the other three, the first one is the blatant lying. The second one is deny, deny, deny. And the third one is using what you love against you. And now we're into the fourth one. And if you want to go see all the other ones that I've done, you can go to my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the comment section so you can go catch up with us. And this next one is the slow death of self, which means that it's a slow process. It's very subtle, it's very effective, but it happens over time, and it starts very small. A lot of times people who are really susceptible to this form of manipulation are also the ones that have a difficult time really owning their emotions. Maybe they lack confidence in really owning how they feel, and so they're relying on other people to tell them how they feel. Like for me, even though I was never gaslighted in this form, and I think that may not be true, but I have always had a really difficult time knowing how to feel or knowing how to own my emotions. So I've kind of relied on other people, and luckily they didn't use it in a negative way or bad against me, but I would have been really susceptible to this form of manipulation because I really do rely on other people to kind of help me navigate my emotions and what I feel, and maybe I shouldn't feel a certain way, maybe I should feel a certain way, and I seek out either validation or approval from others in knowing what and how to feel. So if someone dies, and I know that's really sad, but my grieving process, I become really reliant on other people to either validate my emotions or kind of just tell me. I've always been like kind of an emotional, not in a negative way, but I've been very emotional, very sensitive, and I haven't always known how to cope with my feelings. So from a very young age, it's just like I've kind of have gotten into this pattern of not owning my thing. Now I do. Now I'm much better because I've really worked on this. So this does not make me so susceptible anymore to this form of manipulation, which is the slow death of self. But basically what ends up happening is you may feel like you've completely lost yourself and you're completely reliant on the other person to tell you how to feel, to tell you what to do, to the point at which you can't do anything without someone else's approval. And that can be very negative, especially someone who is manipulating you into certain ways. This can happen whether you have a son or daughter, a grandchild, because maybe you just are having a hard time understanding how the emotional stuff, maybe, especially if we're older, maybe they're convincing you that you're getting old and senile, and what you're feeling or what you're experiencing and the reality of it isn't what it should be or what it really is, and they will make you feel like you're going crazy, and you're like, oh my God, like who am I? You know, like another thing, this happens a lot more because you have a tendency to like live with them, but like with husbands and wives, you can really lose your sense of self if this is the form of manipulation that is being used against you. Here's what I'm going to say in order to defend yourself. If you don't feel like yourself anymore, the best thing that you can do for yourself is go and really start practicing how to own your emotions and defining who you are. You got to go find yourself again. That's the best thing. So if you're angry at something, be angry at something, and no one else should be able to tell you what to feel, why to feel, where to feel, etc., right? So start owning your emotions again. Maybe the emotions you're attaching it to aren't always correct if we're not in practice of really knowing how and studying our emotions and our beliefs and getting to know ourselves and stuff. We may attach our anger emotions to something that we think that it is, but isn't really. But that's okay. Just own the fact that you're angry, or own the fact that you're sad. You can start discovering more and more of why and what the deeper rooted levels are of what you're sad about later on. But at first, just own your emotions and don't let anybody tell you that they're not valid. That's the best way to defend yourself against this subtle form. Now, we've gotten into a pattern. If this is you and you've lost yourself, it may take some time to completely rewire some of the damage that has been done. And so put the baseball bat down if it's not perfect at first, and it may be a little messy at first, but you'll learn. This is a practice skill in uncovering who you really are again. And let me tell you, you are the amazing, bright person that you've always known you can be and that you are. So always keep that in mind. Start speaking positive about yourself, because you're not this negative person that either you have led yourself to believe or someone else has led yourself to believe. Anyway, I really hope this was helpful. I hope that if you've missed the previous 3, that you go back to my YouTube channel and you watch them, because they're really helpful. It's really insightful. Don't forget to subscribe so then you get notified and you don't miss it on the next time that I release the next video, which will be next week. And the next one, which will be week 5, we're going to go into that word versus action. And that's very important for you to know that words and actions are 2 very different things. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know how this helps you. If you have lost yourself and you feel like you don't know who you are anymore, and maybe you're just so stuck you don't even know where to start to bring the best parts of you back out to the surface, that's what I'm here for. I can help find the best parts of you again. So reach out to me if this sounds like you and you could use some help in remembering who you are as a person and how to really defend yourself against this one, because this one is a very powerful one, as it has happened over time and you didn't even see it. So, and all of a sudden one day you wake up and you're like, who is this person? And that's a sad place to be. So I want you to find yourself again. Again, hope this was helpful. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, reach out to me. You go check out my website, maniliconsulting.com, and it'll give you different ways to reach out. So anyway, till next time, I hope you have a great week and start practicing owning your emotions again.